Hello friends, this is Dhananjay Reddy coming out with a thematic analysis on what is happening in West Asia. Recently, there has been a historic deal that is done between the two rival factions of Saudi Arabia and Iran brokered by China. In this context, why America is losing its power in West Asia? What are the things that are exactly happening in West Asia? I am going to tell you. But before going into this, let me compare international relations. International relations is such a good subject where you can relate this thing to KGF movie. Just like in KGF movie, there are many players who are looking for the throne, that is for power. Similarly, in the international relations, the countries, the global powers are looking for that hold for power. So KGF movie has similarities with your international relations because the underlying context of both the themes is power politics. By the end of the day, who is going to have power? That is all about international relations. So what exactly is happening? This is taken from today's article in the Hindu, that is on 23rd of March 2023. What exactly is happening in America or in West Asia as far as American power is considered? So let me go back to this region called West Asia and how America started dominating this power. Just like in the KGF movie, as people are striving for gold, right? Coal or gold fields. This is for gold. West Asia is known for its oil resources. So if it is gold there, it is here oil. The rest of the story is same. So that is the summary of West Asia. So in West Asia, the game is for oil reserves. It has to be understood that between 1960s, 1970s and 1980s, Russia and USA were hugely dependent on the West Asian countries for their oil imports. Particularly, USA by that point of time do not have any oil reserves in West Asia. As a result, it was hugely importing oil from West Asian countries like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Syria, Kuwait, all these Persian countries, they are going to import. So in this context, way back in the year 1980, there was a deal that was made between USA and the West Asian countries, and that deal was brokered by this person, the foreign security advisor of USA. His name is, he has passed away in 2017. He is Zbigniew Brzezinski. So he is having a chart with the so-called former USA president, and he is Jimmy Carter. So what is happening here is Brzezinski is explaining what is the context of West Asia to the president Jimmy Carter. So as per this is known as Carter Doctrine in West Asia. So as per Carter Doctrine, the doctrine of USA, it says that any outside force which is going to influence in West Asia is going to be considered as a threat to USA's interests. So if someone is going to destabilize West Asia, then they consider it as a threat to USA and they are going to fight against that country. So Carter Doctrine used to prevail in West Asia from 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s and 2000. So until 2000, for the second half of the 20th century, 20th century, this was dominated by USA. The entire region is dominated by USA. But now new players are coming into this regime. That is China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Iran are dominating players. Now, why did it happen? Why did USA has lost or losing its relevance in West Asia? Is it out of air or is it a pre-planned meditation or mediation that has been caused by USA? In this context, let's analyze this. What USA did? By the year 1980s and 1990s, USA started controlling the entire West Asia. However, in the last 20 years, USA has done some unforgettable mistakes that all the countries of the globe has to learn from it. For example, USA has invaded into three biggest countries here, particularly Iraq. Second one is Syria, and it has challenged the Shia community that is called the Iran country, dominating country here. Now, let's see what happened here. So first, USA entered directly in Iraq. At that time, Iraq was ruled by under a monarch called Saddam Hussein. So on March 20, 2003, USA has directly landed its troops in Iraq. As a result, USA has won the war. Why they have landed into Iraq? Because Iraq went and captured Kuwait. Now, Iraq and Kuwait form two-thirds of the oil reserves which is present in West Asia. As Iraq is moving towards Russia by that point of time, Saddam Hussein is moving towards Russia by that point of time. So they wanted to change the regime in Iraq, and USA landed its troops in 2003 in Iraq. Now, after landing here, after winning the war, USA didn't withdraw. Rather, it has been present there and it is playing a very crucial role in the political domains of Iraq. This was not liked by many players in Iraq. So, the sectarian bloodshed that was created by USA after this 2003 clashes has led to Iraq to divide into two small fragmentations. This has given rise to the global terrorist organizations like Al Qaeda. They were very against USA because USA started meddling into their socio-religious affairs. Now, this Al Qaeda over a period of time has become the ISIS, the global terrorist organization that we are facing. So, the roots for terrorism at the global level is USA's invasion into Iraq. As a result, though USA was successful in this battle of Iraq, but it was not successful in containing the repercussion effects that it has seen over a period of time, that is in the form of terrorism which is going to lose. USA has lost in this battle. Now, as a result, what has happened here? Iraq, which is going to be, or which used to be a buffer state between Iran and the Arab countries, now because of the destabilization that has happened in Iraq, some people started looking towards other players in Iraq, and then Russia and China. They thought that Russia and China can be the better partners for them rather than USA. As a result, USA's intervention into this domain has destabilized Iraq altogether, and it has removed the buffer which is present between Iran and the Arab world, that is Saudi Arabia led Arab world. This is the first mistake that USA has done in West Asia. The second mistake that USA has done altogether here is in Syria. In Syria, it didn't send its troops, but it has fought the ISIS by giving its military equipments to Turkey, to the countries which are in and around Syria. It has not directly sent its military weapons, rather it has used airstrikes in order to control ISIS. Now, because of this policy, this is excessive intervention of USA in Syria. Because of this, a huge amount of expenditure was embedded into this Syria war. As a result, over a period of time, they started losing its battle, because ISIS was a long drawn battle. For almost 15 years, they have strived together in order to contain USA. In the end, obviously, USA was successful in containing ISIS. But the fruits that USA has got is not to the desired extent. As a result, rather than waging the full battle in Syria, it left the battle in the middle. This is the ultimate mistake that USA has done. As the war is approaching near to an end, USA thought, let's move out of this Syrian region. It moved out. Now it created a political vacuum which was caught by Turkey and Russia together. Hence, Syria came under the influence of these powers called Russia, Turkey, China, all together from USA. So if you are noticing this, so Iraq was lost, Syria was lost. And what is the third mistake that these people have done? So who has realized this? The third mistake that these people have done is, they have thought that we are spending more in West Asian security, particularly by this point of time, there is a war which is going on in Afghanistan. For almost 20 years, they were in Afghanistan to eliminate Taliban regime. Now, by this point of time, there was this president called Barack Obama who thought that USA is continuously in this entanglement in West Asia, and this endless entanglement in West Asia is conserving their resources, and they are not able to focus on emerging threats which are happening in some other parts of the globe, and that some other parts of the globe is Asia Pacific, which is dominated by China by this point of time. So they started moving out. They started moving out slowly from the regime. Now it has created a political vacuum. Now, what Barack Obama has done beautifully is, in order to contain Iran here, so they thought that we have to get the Arab countries together and they have to fill the political vacuum that it is going to be created because of USA's exit. Now, what America did is, before it is leaving West Asia, it has made one regional player here that is called Israel. It made Israel to be the pioneer here and it asked the Arab countries to align with Israel. And that is the result of Abraham Accords. Abraham Accords, by the way, they are the accords between Israel on one side and the Arab nations such as Saudi Arabia, UAE, Egypt on the other side, making an alliance between both, saying that we are going to recognize Israel as the contender for that area, and they recognized Israel. However, in order to contain together, so Abraham Accords were quite successful during the times of Barack Obama. Now they have also, Barack Obama has also dealt the issue of Iran very successfully by saying that let's end the war with Iran, and they have bought a deal called the P5+1 deal, that is keeping Iran nuclear weapons under control. So this is called nuclear weapons deal with Iran. So Iran also successfully accepted to this. So it was until the times of 2019. So USA thought to leave, and it has created an alliance between Israel and the Arab countries, and they have also made a beautiful deal with Iran. Now the ground was very ripe to leave that place. Why USA started leaving this? That is what we have to understand. USA started leaving this. If you go back to my discussion, way back in the year 1960s, 1970s, USA was usually dependent on oil reserves which are present in West Asia. But by the time of 2000, USA has got its own oil reserves, particularly the exploration of shale gas reserves in USA, made USA an oil-rich or energy-rich country. Now its relevance on West Asia or its dependence on West Asia has come down. And this is the first, dependence has come down. The second reason is China is threatening them. As a result, they wanted to shift their gears from West Asia to Southeast Asia or Pacific, Southeast Pacific, particularly the South China Sea regions, Asia Pacific region. So this is the plan, this is the grand design of USA. But before leaving that, they have made the deal. After this, the third important mistake that USA's President Donald Trump has did is he has severed the ties that is present with Iran. He has cancelled the P5+1 deal that he has made with Iran, but he didn't prepare any other alternative on how to check Iran's nuclear power deal. As a result, a big clash has happened between USA and Iran. Now they are being the rivals because Donald Trump administration has kept economic sanctions. They wanted to make Iran regime very, very poor in terms of economy. Now this was not liked by Iran. As a result, Iran thought that the game is being played by Saudi Arabia, Syria, Saudi Arabia, Israel together. Hence, Iran has some power in Yemen. So by using the rebel forces in Yemen, Iran started attacking Saudi Arabian oil fields. In the year 2021, these Yemen rebels, what they did is they have attacked the oil wells of Saudi Arabia and they have destroyed the oil wells. Now, by this point of time, Saudi Arabia is expecting some help from USA to condemn these attacks, but USA remained as a mute spectator, and this is a big shock for Saudi Arabia altogether. So Saudi Arabia didn't like the response or the irresponse that USA has given to this. Hence, they thought that USA is very clear in deprioritizing our areas. Now, to USA, we are not the powers who are looking at us. Hence, we should have our own independent foreign policy. As a result, Saudi Arabia was a bit skeptical on USA by 2021. The second thing why Saudi Arabia was upset with these affairs in West Asia is the Israel's behavior. What is Israel's behavior? Israel is contending and it is saying that the entire land belongs to us, whatever the land that is present here. And they are not recognizing the Palestinian regions. So if you look at the Israel, you have the Israel component as well as Palestina area in it. Palestinians, by the way, are Arabs. Now, Israel is continuing its strikes on Palestinian people. Now, this has upset the Arab countries. On one side, Israel is trying to become the leader of the West Asia, but on the other side, by crushing the Palestinians against the principles of Arabs, now the Arabs started moving out. Hence, the Abraham Accord, which was thought to be the best alternative to the US exit, started showing some fault lines. Though UAE was successful in having this deal with Israel, but the Abraham deal that was made between Saudi Arabia and Israel couldn't succeed because Israel is attacking the Palestinians. Indirectly, they are attacking the Arabs, and Saudi Arabia didn't like. And Saudi Arabia thought it is waste to go ahead with USA's broker deal. Let's have our own independent foreign policy. Now, given this context of West Asia, so Israel is attacking, Saudi Arabia has been attacked by Yemen forces. Now China or USA started looking as a nude spectator. So Saudi Arabia started looking for some other alternatives. Already I said Iran was upset with the Donald Trump's regime. As a result, Iran was also looking for some other countries who can come and help them during the times of economic crisis. And they looked the second person or the second country, that is called China. And China uses this fault lines very effectively, and it has been successful in making Iran to align with them because China is militarily powerful, China is economically powerful. As a result, whatever the economic sanctions that were kept on Iran by USA, that was overcome with Chinese partnership between Iran. So this is one deal that China has done with Iran, and Iran started tilting towards China. Now Saudi Arabia is also looking for some other partners in the region. For them, China again appeared to be the best alternative, unlike USA, which looked at as a mute spectator. Now Saudi Arabia also thought that if we are having constant struggle with Iran, then it is not going to help for the country. As a result, they started looking for some friendship gesture from Iran, and that was utilized by China. As a result, China has been very successful in making these two enemies, bitter enemies, to come together and forge into new ties. This clearly shows that in international relations, particularly, you do not have permanent friends and permanent enemies all the way. Now, what is the problem of Israel? Now, Israel is also very skeptical about USA's designs here. Now, on one side, Israel was very happy because of the Donald Trump's regime, because Donald Trump has kept sanctions on Iran. But now, this deal has made them quite bitter. On one side, Israel is occupying Palestinian lands. It is not stopping that. On the other side, it is telling that we want a friendly gesture to Arab nations. So the dual game that is played by Israel is also not liked by these people. And Israel's dislike for USA started showing in the recent times. For example, USA and the West countries, particularly the UK and European countries, asked Israel to send their military power to Ukraine. But Israel didn't send its military equipments to Ukraine. This shows that Israel wants its own military equipments to itself. Israel wants to have its own foreign policy. As a result, though USA has exited from this region, there was no better alternative for this. And this is the exact reason why China has intruded into this and it has captured this. Now, what is the scenario which you see in this region of West Asia altogether? The scenario is just like KGF movie. There are many rivaling factions who are trying to create their own regime. Look at the flags that I have shown. First one is Israel. Israel is having its own independent foreign policy. Second one is Iran. Iran is trying to align towards China. Third one is Turkey. Turkey is also looking for some other alternative. If you see the recent context of Turkey, though it is a NATO member, it is supporting Russia in one form or the other as far as this war is considered. Fourth one is Saudi Arabia. As I said, Saudi Arabia is upset with the US's policies. Now, does that mean China is intruding or exceeding its dominance in West Asia and USA is losing its relevance? We cannot say USA totally lost its relevance in West Asia. Particularly, USA has its own forces there. It still has thousands of troops along this area. It has several military bases present in this region. As a result, today, West Asia is just like a multipolar world. where there are many countries aspecting for power, accepting the power, and they are showing its own relevance in West Asia. Hence, West Asia, in order to survive together, all these infamous factions, geopolitical groups has to come together and go for prospects of the region or go for the development of the region. Until and unless that is done, dominance of one country over the other will always prevail, and West Asia is going to be the ultimate loser in this game of struggle. So this is what is happened in West Asia in short for you. Thanks for joining. Have a great day.